The pub was buzzing with chatter and clinking glasses, and behind the bar stood a young woman with a knack for listening. No one could have guessed that one day she'd trade pint glasses for a pulpit. At 29, Reverend Pippa White doesn't exactly fit the classic image of a priest. Unless you imagine a priest who belts out Taylor Swift at concerts, crashes tackles on the rugby field, and scrolls TikTok in her free time. But here she is, breaking the mold with a smile and a smartphone. Her journey didn't start with hymns or Sunday sermons. In fact, she didn't even get baptized until she was 19. University was where the first flicker of faith began. After graduation, like many others, she took up bar shifts to make ends meet. Oddly enough, those late-night conversations across the counter weren't too different from the heartfelt talk she now has as a priest. As she puts it, the only difference is there's no bar separating her from the people now. But her story doesn't stop there, Father. On TikTok, she's found a whole new congregation, one that doesn't meet in pews but scrolls through feeds. Known playfully as the TikTok Vicar, her videos, funny, honest, and sometimes deeply personal, have gathered nearly 20,000 followers. In one clip, she jokes about the irony of being single while officiating weddings. Another pokes fun at her attempts to teach Sunday school while secretly wrestling with her own questions. One granddad in her parish doesn't even use TikTok, but he's in on the laughs, thanks to his granddaughter. During a walk through town, a woman stopped her mid-step, excited to recognize her from TikTok. That quick chat led to another, about a family service, about community, about church. So, just like that, a video had opened the door to something real. For Reverend White, this is what it's all about. The Church of England may have centuries of tradition, but with social media, she's discovered a new way to reach people where they already are. Instead of waiting for folks to walk through church doors, she meets them on their screens with humour, warmth, and zero judgment. Of course, not everyone's clapping. Some viewers don't like how she mixes faith with fun. One clip, for instance, shows her joking about teaching St. Valentine's story while being single and bitter. In another, she suggests heaven might taste like mozzarella cheese. She's had her fair share of critical messages. But she brushes it off, saying her online presence mirrors her real-life approach, light-hearted, approachable, and full of honesty. She's not the type to walk up to a stranger and dive into a theological debate. Instead, she might crack a joke, let the moment breathe, and then see where it goes. That's what makes her relatable. She remembers being on the outside, wondering if faith was even for her, afraid to speak up, unsure how to start, so she creates the kind of space she wishes she had back then. Even when she's off-screen, surprising moments keep coming. Like when she shows up for a funeral visit and the family opens the door expecting someone older, perhaps a man in robes. The look of surprise on their faces, priceless, and often the perfect icebreaker. Reverend White is also a regular at rugby practice, where teammates love teasing her. Look at that vicar with the killer tackle. She laughs it off. That's the whole point. To show people she's not from another world. Just another human doing her best. We're not aliens, she jokes. We're just people. Still, her presence as a young female priest is a rarity. Though the Church of England began ordaining women in 1994, less than a third of Anglican priests today are women. Data from 2022 confirms it. Only 30.4% of incumbents are female. During her hospital chaplaincy, people constantly remarked on her age. You're a bit young to be a vicar, aren't you? And those reactions haven't stopped. But TikTok gave her something special, a platform, a voice, a chance to be a version of the church that many have never seen before. She knows her videos strike nerves. Faith is deeply personal. When people disagree with her content, she gets it. For some, this is sacred ground. No one wants their beliefs mocked or misunderstood, which is why, she says, her TikToks aren't meant to replace church. They're meant to show what's possible, what faith, community, and belonging can look like. For younger generations who might feel judged or out of place in a church setting, her videos offer a glimpse of something softer, something kinder. She wants people to know, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to know all the prayers. Just come as you are. That's why she keeps showing up online and in real life. To break the myths. To extend a hand. To say, hey, maybe it's not what you thought. Interestingly, while many assume Gen Z doesn't care about spirituality, the numbers tell a different story. Between 2019 and 2024, Bible sales nearly doubled, from £2, 6 million to over £5 million. And who's behind that surge? Mostly Gen Z. Dr. Michael Naziarli, once an Anglican bishop and now a Catholic, said this generation has moved past the rebellion of the 60s. They're curious, open, and willing to explore faith on their terms. Christian publisher SPCK backed this up, saying Gen Z is less likely to identify as atheist than their parents. And Reverend White believes that someone like her, a peer who gets their world, can help make that connection. Ma! She sees it all the time. When young people talk to her, they don't need to explain what TikTok is or why something matters. She already knows. That makes it easier to get real, to talk about purpose, doubt, belonging, and without jumping through hoops. In a world full of filters, trends, and distractions, she offers something real, something grounded. And maybe, just maybe, that's what people have been searching for all along.